All right, we're live.
Hey,
All right, so we're live right here. Let this go ahead and get this video loaded.
okay.
Did you notice my radio voice changed?
You snapped in the character just like
Yeah.
that?
I got to step into the purple shirt, sweating profusely because the AC is out character. It's really easy to do.
At least you
Uh,
open the windows up, man.
well, I did that because of a good friend of mine told me to do so. Let me launch this on TikTok. So we're gonna let TikTok know that we're live right now.
Ooh. I'm gonna check on Facebook.
Yeah. So I'll do this, and then
Okay.
we'll go live on Facebook because I feel like Facebook people, um, there's not very many people who go live on Facebook anymore. So as soon as someone goes live, whether I know them or not, generally they always pop in. So I want to be sure to have that conversation going.
Slowly.
Yep. Oh, you know what? I could also put us up on YouTube right here. Since it's live.
Oh yeah, in the background.
That'd be very confusing for people.
I think I'd be confused.
Like, which one am I talking to? I don't. Let me fill this out right here.
How long have you been doing this podcast for?
That's a great question. Actually, we just reached 2 years.
Nice.
And when I say we, I mean me, but the girlfriend helps a lot too.
Hey,
So.
some people don't even realize how much that support really means, man. To be honest, bro, I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah,
Any kind of support like that is very useful.
it is, especially when you're putting yourself out there. I mean, I don't want to give her too much credit because then I'm probably gonna owe her a dinner or something. But okay, yeah, she's very supportive.
Man, I tell you. Sometimes I talk to my wife, I'm like, man, women are just so much smarter. So much smarter sometimes. I'm like, damn it, you got me.
You got me. Like, I tap out. Like, I'm done.
You're right.
So I got this right here. So we'll use this for the TikTok. All right.
Oh, like you like the props? Okay.
Oh yeah. So props are like really good to use, especially when they're like, "Did that guy buy that down there at the local CVS?" Yes.
Yes, I did.
I did. And now you know where to go. So.
Yes, sir. I have my vision board. I should have hung it up in the background.
Oh yeah, dude. Next time. All right. This is not going to be a one-time thing.
All right, no doubt.
Hey guys, we are on TikTok right now. Just to tell you that we're streaming live the Blue Falcon podcast. I'm with my veteran friend Keith Howard.
Yes, sir.
And we're actually streaming right now. And if you didn't hear what I said, it's the Blue Falcon podcast. I actually have this handy dandy whiteboard. What? That I obviously messed up as I did this. So Blue Falcon podcast. It's episode number 23. We are titling it The Other Side. And I want to thank Keith Howard, CEO of Excellence and Prosperity, public speaker, veteran, friend of mine. This is going to be once in a lifetime kind of conversation. So look us up and be sure to follow him on TikTok because he doesn't believe in TikTok yet. I'll tag him below. All right, cool, man. If you get more famous than me, you know how upset I'm going to be? That's like the ugly girl, or I say ugly girl, ugly person. You're like, hey, look how good looking my other friend is. And they get famous. Like,
Yeah, I really don't even want to be famous.
So, you don't want to be famous?
No, man. And that's the thing about putting yourself out there. Just like, I have a message, but I don't necessarily want to be like that. Oh, look at this guy.
Well, that's what that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to say, look at this guy. That's probably some lessons to learn, but some things definitely not to do. Because if you look at my TikTok, I have a video of me almost killing myself, cutting a tree down. It's not exactly the most prideful moment of my life. Normally, so on TikTok, everyone who doesn't know what it is, you can fool around with all kinds of options and things to add in there. We could add some sounds, adjust the clip, do voice effects. I could sound really sexy, for instance. Like that was a voice effect.
That was
But
terrible.
was it terrible?
I don't know why you even tried that with me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's why you have to get on TikTok then. That's exactly why.
Don't put it on your sexy voice with me, man.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I know your wife's home. I got you.
No, I'm joking. But...
Okay. What do we? YouTube streaming on YouTube Live. So now I have to do the little like any post. You have to put what's going on. Streaming live on Facebook. What's your tag on here?
On what, Facebook?
I'm sorry, on TikTok.
Told you I don't even have an account, bro.
I thought you said you had an account.
Nah, like this is what it is. Hold on, wait, let me log into my Facebook, and then I'll just.
Okay, yeah, because I can tag you as soon as you add it.
All right, there we go. My username is Keith Howard 14.
They don't.
I hate how like on TikTok like the video starts right away when I hit the home button.
Dude,
it's like, dude, I don't.
They got to change that. They got to change that, dude. Like I just want to check my messages, or I just want to see how things are going. I don't necessarily need to be blasted.
Yeah, it's like I didn't want to make noise just now.
Yeah, they could actually come in handy. I guess if you need to get out of a situation, you can let someone know that you're looking at your phone and you don't want to hear them. And just turn on your TikTok. Like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the hashtags right now that are popular are keeping it cute. So we're definitely, I think, worthy of that. So we'll go ahead and get that one.
Summer. Hashtags, man.
What's that?
Got to use them hashtags.
Hashtags are pretty good. The most important thing to me is engagements, though, from the people who do follow you.
Yeah.
And also making sure you follow and engage with other people. It's like currency. Followers are like currency in social media, right? So if all you're doing is expecting people to follow you, but you don't do the same thing, it's not my style.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool. And post. And then I'll share this to Facebook also. All right, Keith. How's life been going?
Man, I ain't gonna lie. Like the past week or so, every now and then I might wake up, man. I'm just a little bit ticked off. Just a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I think that's healthy to recognize it, right?
Yeah, I mean it's the reality of things. I think. I'm sure I'm not by myself on this, but I know it's other people who don't wake up like that sometimes. You know what I mean? So.
I think most people wake up today. I mean, let's not lie. 2020 was supposed to be awesome for everybody. Like, I think I've never seen more people have more goals, for their what do you call those, yearly New Year's resolutions. I've never seen more people on Facebook like, this year, 2020 is my year. It's gonna be New Year's resolution of this, and this. All positive vibes. No one expected the outwards and internal struggles that we're going through right now. And there was no way to anticipate this. So I'll let you talk now.
Okay, now I will speak. But there is a lot of stuff going on right now. But it's just that, I remember 2020 used to be something where everybody's like, oh, like it's the future. You know what I mean? Like it's the future. And then it opens up and, well, we got the pandemic. Kobe Bryant passed away. Like,
okay, first off, that happened a couple of days before my birthday, right?
Oh, snap.
Yeah, and so that tragedy happened. I'm like, I didn't even putting on anything on Facebook. I was, about my birthday, or like I felt weird about it. I was like, Kobe Bryant passed away, a
Yeah.
helicopter crash with his child, with his daughter, and other families, and dude, that's right off the bat.
Yeah. So we've had a rough start this year, but I think it's a lot of it gives us a lot of time just to like reflect and kind of focus on some of the problems going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, progress requires difficult conversations, and that's what we're doing right now. This is for everyone listening. Just so you know, me and Howard, we haven't talked too much since I got out of the Army and you've gotten out, but we've stayed in touch. We called each other a few times. Um, and the other night, I saw one of his Facebook posts that, finally I was like, okay, I see one of my other friends describing the racial injustices that are going on in the America, in particular, the Floyd movement. The Black Lives Matter, and for me, it was awkward, and it is awkward even talking about this. In a week from now, I'm sure I'm going to look back and say I wish I said things a little differently. So when I saw him have other people comment on this, and when I saw so many other people with so many different, I'm not even going to say opinions, I'm going to say perspectives, because perspectives are based on your facts. Opinions are having all the facts and making a decision, in my opinion. I didn't know who else to talk to. I was tired of feeling like I couldn't participate in the conversation. So I asked Keith, give me a call. Let's talk about this one-on-one. Excuse me. And not talk about this on Facebook, because I'm awful at typing. And I didn't see the productivity that would come from, because I didn't want anybody else to interject in our conversation.
Yep.
Literally an hour later, you FaceTime me. So thank you.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I definitely wanted to reach out because I don't remember exactly what you said, but yeah, and as a matter of fact, I deleted the post only because I think like sometimes I don't like to speak out of anger, and I don't think I said anything wrong, but I just try to control myself whenever I'm speaking. So
that's a really good point. I could tell one of my friends were upset. I could tell you were upset. And I don't want to scroll through my Facebook feed, because my Facebook feed before 2020 was generally my friends sharing their lives, and not I guess almost your we call it, I don't want to call it an artificial life, but sharing the fun moments in life. And now that all the fun moments are kind of gone for everybody, the sports, etc. Everyone knows what's going on. Now I scroll through and I see heartache, and that's really awesome that you had the ability to say that you took it down. Like, hey, guess what? You can do that. You can change your mind on what you're doing, or what you posted in the past.
right.
That's what you felt. Like, that's what you felt, right?
Yeah, I get ready to say, but to be clear, the post was about when Donald Trump tweeted, and he was saying that he thinks that Drew Brees shouldn't have apologized, and he said what he said was right or whatever, and that just tipped me off because with this kneeling protest happening in NFL, the narrative keeps getting switched that the NFL players are disrespecting the flag and the soldiers who fought for our country, when that is not the reason why people are protesting in the NFL. It's because of social injustice, just like we've seen throughout the history of America with police brutality, all of that stuff, and racism as well too. That's what the protesting is about. And when Donald Trump, our president, who was supposed to be a leader, I just feel like sometimes he He needs to be able to be cognitive of what he says, and that he has a whole nation to lead. So he has to keep in mind all people, because there's two different sides of the experience of America between.
Just two?
Well, I'm speaking in terms of white and black. There's two different experiences that we go through in America.
I disagree, respectfully. But let's pause right here because this conversation is getting to that point where some people don't know where conversation is going. So this is great. Let me go on Facebook Live and.
I thought you were already on live.
No, we're on YouTube Live.
Oh, I thought you were on Facebook Live already.
Oh. Wait for it.
So we're definitely gonna have to bring that back up again then, like it never happened.
No, we don't have to. No, so it doesn't matter what point people get in on the conversation; they're gonna take what they want to take out of it.
Right. True.
And because I'm sharing the YouTube link to Facebook, they'll be able to rewind and go back.
Yeah, true. I know. I'm just saying because that is a measure. That is a point that I do want to speak on. So that's why I was saying.
Well, I have a counter argument.
Yeah. I know. I mean, I'm open here. I'm open here.
Well, that's what we're here for, right? We're trying to work this out.
I mean, we're not going to solve the problem right here, but
exactly. I agree.
It goes further than this, but yeah, this is definitely a start. It's a conversation.
So whenever we use that OBS software I was telling you about earlier,
yeah,
you can do this a lot easier than having like your iPad out.
Oh yeah, you know what? Damn, I should get my iPad. No, I'm just gonna use my phone. You can tag me on Facebook, right? When you go live.
Yes.
Somebody posted this picture. It said, "Wait, are you able to see this?"
100 spoons.
But it's forks inside. Like that's the army in a whole picture.
That's the army, no doubt, or military probably. You know, that's something else I always laugh about. I think I brought that up on the podcast before. Is when people say it's military grade. We probably don't want it. Okay,
yeah, there's a lot of people.
Okay, so we're on Facebook. I'm about to post it. What do you think I should say?
Let's just keep it consistent. The other side of America, or conversation with Keith Howard.
Okay, so this is it already has that. So we'll just put join the conversation.
Yeah, definitely. Just tag me in that jump.
What's your name?
Keith Howard.
You tell me though.
I
got him.
I was like, I know he's not asking me for my name, but I was like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and say it.
Okay, it's not letting me tag you on here.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm just gonna post it.
Let me check my settings right quick then.
Let me see if I can go in and edit it after I've already posted it. Oh, I'll send this to you in Messenger.
Public, who can see? Okay. Should be straight now.
Thanks, man. Okay, I think we're good, brother.
Okay. Bet. Yeah, I got you a link that you sent me for the YouTube.
Okay, cool.
I just don't see it on Facebook now.
What do you mean?
Did you already start the live for Facebook?
So it's not streaming live on Facebook. It's a link to this YouTube channel.
A link to YouTube. Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Got you. I'm gonna share it on my.
Hey, the I think 3 or 4 people that are watching right now. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. I'm not sure if the comments are available yet. I'm gonna go ahead and open up the YouTube channel using YouTube Studio. Do you ever want to run your own podcast? Well, YouTube.
I was about to say that's a pretty good. Head,
hey, what's this guy dropping in? Oh yeah, we have the news going on in the background. Just because I think this conversation's one-on-one, and the news should be in the background. So a little artistic perception there for everybody. All right, well, let's see. All right, I mean, yeah, it's definitely live.
What's going on? You good?
It's definitely live, yeah. Yep.
All right. I'm just gonna make sure I spelled this right. Falcon podcast. You good, Bobby?
I'm good, brother. Let me go to Facebook. I can't find that live video though. Turns out there's a lot more work that goes into going live on YouTube and spreading across
Yeah,
5 or
we'll
6
get
different
it.
platforms. Right?
Yeah, we'll get it right. We'll get it right. I'm trying to do this myself too. But you actually put me on game about having more than one like monitors. You can shoot like do different things at one time.
Yeah, I definitely got it. I mean, I actually use another TV, like HD TV, that I game on. You know, I play Xbox on it too, so it's a dual purpose. So
It's nice.
yeah, definitely looking at doing that, dude.
Oh, you have an Xbox though, so I don't know.
You're not a PS4 guy.
Absolutely. See, look at that. The other side.
In the video, cut it off. This is over. So you were able to share it? Because I'm not even seeing it on my.
I just shared it.
I'm not seeing it on my actual like Facebook. Like I went to my Facebook page and it's not there.
So I saw it on your page, but it's just a link. It doesn't actually play the video. It's just a link to it.
These sons of guns, they got us. All right. Well, we have at least a few people watching though. So,
Yeah.
if we want to get really fancy with it, I could, I guess technically I could go live on Facebook too. But let's keep it here. Whoever watches it watches it. If it's worth watching, not really our responsibility, right? Because this conversation is for us.
Everybody needs to hear this.
I was trying to be modest. I really think everyone definitely needs to hear this.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, let's start back at So we engaged in the conversation because for a better part of 3 weeks, I haven't addressed the issue online on social media. I didn't see why me saying anything would make a difference, because my interactions are personal on a personal level. I guess I believe more in the relationships, and I can't change anybody's mind on social media. And since everyone else is already saying it, I didn't feel like I needed to chime in and also say it. I mean, it's already been said, it's at the forefront. But whenever I started seeing my friends and a lot of family in turmoil, Keith posted something about Trump, and that upset you. And I saw you were upset, and so I engaged with you. We had a great conversation at, I don't know, was that Saturday? Around 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah, right. I think it was Saturday or over the past weekend. Yeah.
And I asked you, I was like, do you think I'm a racist? No, it was an honest question though.
That. Yeah, you did ask me that.
Yeah. So for me, when I see all these posts, well, in the past, let me rephrase this. I've had a lot of self-development in the past week from personal events and self-reflection. But I had felt, all this anger, and I felt like it was directed at me for multiple reasons. And so I had to know. Keith is one of the people that I know, if I call him and ask him if I'm a racist, or ask him to call me, and he doesn't call me, he may think I am, but he may also call me and be like, yeah, man, well, you said this and this that upset me.
So what? I'm thinking about.
You're always honest.
Why
You're
did
always
you
honest.
ask me that?
Okay. Man, that's a really good question. So I had felt from, I mean, you turn on Xbox Live, video game, Black Lives Matter. We're not going to stop until the injustice is done. The Black community is hurting. Then I look at my friends who are liberal, and they're saying that, it's white people's fault that, Black people are where they're at, and they're, being silenced, being a racist. If I support Trump, or if I voted for Trump, I'm a racist. If I haven't been vocal enough or addressed the issue enough, I'm a racist. And I see some of my Black friends on both sides of it. I see some of my Black friends saying, don't feel sorry for me. I don't necessarily believe that a white person has had it better, because I've actually had it really good, and I don't want them judging me. And I don't like.
I told you that.
Yeah, and yeah, well, and also, I mean, and the point being is why it should. That's basing something off of race anyway. So, and we'll get more into that. So at the end of the day, I don't know if I'm walking down the street and people are mad at me for my color all of a sudden.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think so. And this is just my perspective on everything. So
we're talking about me. Oh, answer. Am I a racist?
I mean, so I'm gonna say no because of our experience together and our relationship. Because I never got any weird racist vibes from you. I did get a lot of racist vibes from other people that was around us. We were together back in the Army, but I never had to question if you were or not, because I think our experiences were always, it was very genuine. So
right, and I only wanted to hammer down on that and get you to say that, because I honestly believe it's based on relationships. That's where we're going to start fixing this.
Yeah.
It's been addressed.
Yeah.
It's been addressed, right? And it upsets me that some, and this is, personal feeling. It upsets me that some of my friends and family are saying, if you're not identifying the problem and becoming less racist, then you're a racist. And I'm looking back, I'm like, I thought I haven't been this whole time. Like, where were y'all at?
Right. So
like, don't make me feel bad all of a sudden because you just started like realizing that other people have feelings.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. I'll probably, change my mind one day, maybe. I don't know.
I bring it like, okay, so here's what I'll say. Who's very close to you right now? Like, just name somebody that you just love dearly.
Daryl Brownfield.
Okay,
Daryl
so
Brownfield. Yeah.
Okay, so him right now, if he was going through some kind of turmoil based off of whatever circumstances that he cannot control, he was just getting mistreated, abused, whatever it was, you would feel the need to speak up and support him because you see something going on that's wrong, right? That same kind of feeling, or I'm sorry, or you would probably take action and figure out what you can do to kind of help out somebody that you care about.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah. But that kind of feeling is what we should have as human beings to everybody. If I see a group of people being mistreated because of circumstances that they cannot control, what kind of person am I if I don't speak up about it? And that's just the way that I think about it. But going back to what we're talking about, I understand why you would feel like you don't need to speak up about it because it's not directly affecting you.
No, it does affect me. It has affected my friends in the past. I've seen racism against my black friends before. I've been I don't want to say a victim because I don't believe in that because I'm the victor. That's a personal mentality. But I've had people make racist comments towards me. Okay. Now it's not on the level of what some other people that apparently have experienced, but I have witnessed, I've seen it.
Form of racism.
Right. White. In this case, you know what? I'll call them out, particularly Canadian. They were being racist towards my black friend Aaron, who came to pick me up from a party, and I didn't even recognize it until we got in the car. And so it's my responsibility to say, oh, wow. Okay. That was weird. I didn't expect those people to change their tone towards me all of a sudden. And I noticed there was a change in the attitude of everybody.
Yeah.
At the same time, though, I think the most important thing to focus on there is that my buddy came and picked me up from a party that I couldn't leave sober.
Yeah. That's peace vibes right there.
Peace vibes. I don't want to say a bad word, but something those other people,
Yeah,
fill in the blank.
Yeah, and that's the thing though, man. Like that same way that you felt when that happened to him, because you have a platform, people feel like, you could be able to use that platform to speak out on what's going on, because if you don't say anything, it seems as if you're not supportive when you very well might be. But
well, that means they're judging me, right?
Oh yeah, but that's perception though. Perception. Now, at the same time, it's different when it's very genuine though. Like you mentioned earlier, a lot of companies are, even if you're playing a game, Black Lives Matter. I think a lot of companies are just putting out these statements and messages because they don't want to be attacked. I think it's weird how
they want the clout.
I think it's weird how it's kind of weird how Black Lives Matter, that's an organization, correct? So you really can't use that slogan without somebody getting paid.
That's another financial topic,
right? So I mean, but that's what I'm getting at with it though. So when it's very genuine, it means something because it shows that you're connected and you see what's going on in the world and you see the things to be changed. But when it's just, oh, let me put out a statement because I feel like I need to, I don't want to be attacked. It's like, okay, but you can just say that, but I don't know if you're genuine about it or not.
From my experiences, I see I could probably get 8 categories of behaviors from my white friends, 8 different, categories. And then, that's great, breaking up people based on something. Okay. And then I have, in my viewpoint, before our discussions, 2 perspectives or behaviors from my black friends. So you understand how this conversation is different and this conversation is valuable. There's a reason why I have 8 perspectives of my white friends, right? Because we're actually having one-on-one conversations. Mm-hmm. But we're also seeing, like, most of my friends on Facebook are white.
Yeah.
It's odd to me how I think people need to understand that talking generalities when we're living in today's world is ironically ancient. If we did not have social media today and people stopped, I'm not going to say that there's going to be racist on every level. There's going to be evil in the world. There always will be.
Always. It's not going to stop. It's only a problem. I'm sorry, but
we're on the same page. We're on the same page, brother. Right? Okay. We're on the same page. Imagine how much more effective we would be in our community when we stopped worrying about things we can't. When we gave attention and our time to things we can't change. Where would that time and emotion be spent? And I think we need to start realizing the social media experiment. I'm not going to call it an experiment. The social media blessing. I'm going to call it a blessing because I do believe social media is a blessing if you use it correctly. This blessing that we have has got to come down to the individual's responsibility. And if you see negativity on your Facebook, just like if you're at a party that you don't like, you walk out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, I'll let you talk. Sorry. So at the end of the day, though, what I'm trying to say, social media has created us worrying about problems we can't change. I can't change what happened in Minneapolis. I have zero control of what happened in Minneapolis. I have zero control of the racism issues that have happened everywhere in the past that I haven't been directly involved in.
Now, being that you see that there's a problem. So
I've known that there's a problem. I've always known there's a problem.
Right. But yeah. you acknowledge that there's a problem, correct? So yeah, you can't change what's going on. But
I'm gonna say the problem though is racism. Like
but what you can do is change how you respond to it. Because if you see that there's a problem and you're not addressing it.
So what's the action?
What can you do? What can you do to make a difference?
And to me, that means
because there's an obvious problem against a group of people that can't control their skin color, right? Okay, now, there's a lot of factors that come into that, and I definitely understand. We can get into that.
Yeah, but hold on, you're not the victim. Like I don't like how black people are being portrayed as like less than whites, because that to me is like the most racist thing. Because you guys are awesome. Like, I mean, not you really, but other people that I know.
You're not awesome.
I know. I'll get told daily. Trust me. There are so many levels and facets of this that any sentence that we say can be broken down and made wrong in any way. And so I appreciate you coming on this podcast and going live, and that is different.
Thank you for having me. Seriously.
Yeah, I might have a heart attack in a minute. I'm still waiting on the comments to come in. But seriously, action, right? Mm-hmm. To me, what's happened in the past happened in the past. I can't deal anymore with, well, such and such did blah, 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 blah. Like, if we want to go down that route, sit me down and I'll tell you everything that I did wrong in my life. And then you can do the same for yourself. And then by that time, we'll be about 80. Right?
Yeah.
So you and I both agreed this whole conversation is going to lead to awkward discussion and activity. So how do you believe in your perception of the issues that you know much better than I do in the Black community? What do you believe are some actionable items when you see, and you're telling me to speak out?
So you mean some actionable items that we as America can do?
No,
Is that
like
what you're talking about?
okay, so I don't think as America we can speak for all Americans anymore.
Are you talking about you as an individual?
Right. Because when I say America needs to do something, I'm
Mhm.
actually very ignorant, I feel like. Because when I say America needs to do this, what I'm saying is everyone should agree with me.
Or maybe it's just a suggestion. Hey, maybe look into this. So
No, but okay, so I can't change what others do, though.
you can't. And there's never going to be people. We're not going to always be on the same page, right? Like you said, there's going to be people
Example.
who are just racist and ignorant and just live their life a certain way. Whatever. Now, that is perfectly fine. We do not have to like each other. Seriously, we're not. I don't like everybody.
Okay, I'll just end the podcast right now.
I don't like everybody that I come in contact with, but it becomes a problem when, for one, I don't like you based off of things that you can't control, and then two, now I have the ability to affect your way of living, right? And I think that is what's.
Okay, can you be more specific? I'm sorry. I'm not. I see two different things you could have said there with the pronouns. Can you be more specific with that sentence that you said?
Yes. Because you don't like me, because of my skin color,
Okay.
you shouldn't have the ability to affect my way of living. And when I say that, I'm speaking about systematic racism. I'm talking about how unfair the justice system is, and just how we people have been treated from white Americans throughout the history of when they first got here, right? I think a lot of the times, there are a lot of white people who feel entitled, and they're saying, "Oh well, our forefathers, this and that," and I get that. I get what they contributed. However, there's a list of things that happened before that you're not acknowledging that was evil.
So you want me to shine light on evil? Evil is what you're saying.
No. I just
that was catch 22. Okay.
No. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not about shining. It's not about shining light on evil.
I feel like it is.
It's about being educated enough to understand why other people are affected by America's history. And then once you find that,
I disagree.
Then you can focus on what the root cause of the problem is. So police brutality and racism is a big problem in America, right?
Okay, we're talking sobering generalities right now.
Well,
so let's take a step back.
Okay. I was about to lead into what's going on right now, because right. So what's going on right now? A lot of people are really upset about the looting and rioting, right? And they should be. I don't condone any of that. What the problem is, though, is that people are more concerned and upset about that than they are about the whole George Floyd incident. Not only that, but if you are being upset about a reaction to a problem. Yeah, if you focus on the problem, you said what?
I'm taking notes, so on things I want to talk about. So, you're making some really good points, though, so I appreciate this.
So I'm just saying, the problem is police brutality and racism, right?
What's the problem? What
a problem in America when it comes to this, what's happening right now?
Okay, so the problem has a cause and effect.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what are you naming right now? Are you naming the cause or the effect?
The problem right now, the cause right now is because of excuse me. Let me rephrase that. The reaction to what's going on right now is because of what? Police brutality and racism. Correct? Isn't that what's the big topic right now in America?
That's what the news says. Yeah, that's one. Yeah.
But that is an issue, though. I mean, I don't think I have to explain that that's an issue, right?
That's what we're here for.
So,
Yeah.
do you think that police brutality and racism is not an issue in America?
I think that police brutality and racism as an issue in America. Yeah, that's a problem. I don't see why that would even be a question. However, that's like saying children drowning in pools is an issue. That's like saying terrorists hijacking airplanes is an issue. And what I mean by that is that doesn't define what's going on. It's an issue. Agreed. Hands down. There are some assholes who are cops. Come to find out, in my opinion, and in my perspective, and back to what I'm trying to get to, I can't control that.
Right.
You cannot control the evil. And I hear, dude, that was very powerful. Like, I hear you're hurt when you're saying all the things that happened in the past. It's almost like you relive it when you say it and feel the pain of your ancestors.
Yeah. It's
That
just
sucks. That sucks.
And it's just, and it's really not about, we don't want sympathy.
Okay, well, so
it's just about being able to acknowledge.
Okay.
Acknowledge what's going on right now.
I acknowledge it. I acknowledge that there's racism
I'm not saying you. Oh, yeah, I'm not saying you. I'm just speaking in general terms. Just.
I gotcha.
Right. So people need to be able to acknowledge what's going on.
So how many? This is where a lot of people are probably ignorant and want to yell. Well, how many people do you want to acknowledge? Like I have these like little things in my head. I'm like, well, I can see where somebody would tweet this or say that, right? Enough of that. Back to my hope is that do you know how many struggles I've gone through in my life?
Everybody goes through struggles in life.
Okay. Will you acknowledge them?
And we also focus on a solution.
Right, but will you acknowledge my struggles? And I'm playing devil's advocate here. So, but
okay, go ahead.
So I cannot, if I keep bringing up of the issues out there, I agree. Let's see it head on. I hear your voice. I hear your pain. So I reached out.
It's passion.
Hey, passion comes from pain sometimes too. Yeah. So you have the ability, I believe, for us to continue talking about how bad things were. And I think the more you shine light on evil, this is, my cousin Jared was saying, the more you shine light on evil, the more evil it creates. Mm-hmm. So when I see
where you're getting at.
So when I see, amazing individuals like yourself who, like, our relationship has to be there for me. Like, I have to know we're good. Obviously, that's why we reached out to each other.
Right.
And I don't want to see you focusing on, like, what Donald Trump said. Dude, I cannot tell you how unimportant that is to your life on a personal level. Yeah, big picture.
But how are you able to tell me how that's not important to my personal life? When that
Easy.
kind of, because when
who's your mayor?
I couldn't tell you.
Oh, okay. So that seems like way more important than Trump, right? Because that's your city.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you're already caring. Like, you proved my point. You are already caring more about somebody who's 500, 700 miles away than you are the person down your street who's controlling your city.
Let me say this now.
Hold on. So if we build a pyramid, right, or if we build a deck of cards, as you're building that deck of cards, what's the most important thing? the foundation, right? When you build a house, it's the foundation. The foundation isn't the presidency, America. Just FYI, the foundation is your local officials. The foundation is your local community leaders. The foundation sets the standard. Because if you set the standard for your mayor to be awesome and involved in your life and you know who he is, in order to get the next spot, which would be, I guess, a state rep, right? Their standard is going to have to be higher. Well, if you want to be a federal rep, their standard is higher. We have totally, I say we, everybody, collectively, this goes back to social media, has done more griping than solutions. So let's start local. That's my opinion.
No, I absolutely agree with that. As far as starting local, because I've heard that before as well too. Now, referencing back to why you said I was upset about the post about Donald Trump, it's not that he personally is invoking me, but the fact is that he's supposed to be a leader of the United States for all people in the U.S. So he represents not only just white folks, but Mexican, Asian, Black, right? On behalf of the U.S. If he cannot be able to acknowledge something as simple as why the protesters were kneeling in the NFL, I believe that speaks volumes on his character. And that speaks volumes of what other people are thinking in America who support what he said that day. So if you can acknowledge what's going on the other side, because like I said earlier, our experience, Black people's experience, is different than the white Americans' experience. Now, yes, we have a lot of similarities.
You can't say white people because there's so many different kinds of white people.
But I'm talking about overall. The overall experience is a lot different.
So you're doing generalities. That's where we got to stop breaking this down. I mean,
it's not really a generality. I think that's an actual fact, just based off of my experience.
Okay, so that's a valid. Okay, based off your experience.
Well, and throughout history of America as well too. If you just look at the history of what's happened to Black people in America because of their skin color, bombings, lynching.
You don't think the government's done messed up stuff to poor white people?
See, but and this is what people do a lot. The topic always shifts. Oh yeah, but what about this? What about that?
No, I wasn't saying. I already acknowledged that that's messed up stuff. Like that should not have happened.
So
you have to acknowledge.
I see where you're going. Yes. I see
you're asking for me to acknowledge you.
Right. I see what you're doing.
You to acknowledge that.
I see what you're doing.
But all we're doing here is again, we're going back to the past.
I believe with the point that's being missed is that there is an unfair system in place that you are not seeing that affects other people other than just.
I'm not saying that things in the past have not set things to be unfair. That's not what I'm saying.
So all I'm saying is that there needs to be some kind of solution based to what's going on.
And that comes down to the individual level. There's nothing, you cannot do anything. You cannot tell other people what to do.
Right.
You can't.
And I don't have the answers. This
is what got you on here. You kidding me right now?
All I'm saying is that you as an individual have a responsibility to affect other people.
Okay, so
how you do it, up to you.
I completely agree. Something else I definitely want to get out there. Do you believe there are that every race is racist?
I believe what?
Do you believe every race is racist?
Yes, there are racist people. There are racist people in every race. Yes.
Okay. Do you believe that there are any other issues that would help because right now you're standing as a Black community, and I'm supporting you as a Black community. I'm here with you, talking with you, and I hope that if I ever call you and need a ride, you'll be there, right?
Absolutely.
So what other issues do you believe? Because I have plenty of, in my opinion, of generalities of what people need to do to help the entire state of the working class. However, let's take a step back here. Mm-hmm. Let's say you're going to do your part to not instigate hate, right? Obviously I'm going to do my part. If I see something, an injustice being done, should I tell everyone and clamor to them, like, look how proud you should be of me that I stopped this? Or the question goes back to, from a Christian standpoint or spiritual standpoint, if you're bragging about your good deeds,
you want the attention. Yeah, it's just for the attention, right? I mean, what do you feel like you should do though? I mean, that's something that you have to answer like for yourself, So, for example, I have a platform where I want to encourage people to live the best lives that they can possibly live. It's motivation. It's self-empowerment. So I have to put myself out there in order to reach an audience. So whenever I do something, I'm going to post it because I want it to reach other people and change their lives. But I don't just post it solely because I want the attention. So I mean,
I think time will tell. Time will tell for people who do that. I did such a great thing today. I'm not sure if you guys know how like nice I am. Consistent. Look at what I did right here.
Do it again. Kobe Bryant used to always say that. Okay, you did it one time, but can you do it again?
Oh damn, good reference, man. And here's something else I'm going to ask people to do. When you see a good deed, talk about it.
Oh yeah,
that's not talked about enough.
Oh yeah, I mean negativity is easily talked about. Easily.
We've been talking about it for an hour now.
But it needs to be said though. So sometimes you have to call some stuff out.
Dude, hopefully everyone gets that of why this conversation is happening.
Yeah.
The overall conversation of this is I'm awesome, Keith's awesome, and you guys subscribe to us. And but it's
I'm just a little bit more awesome than he is though.
Well, yeah, you didn't run as fast as I did. But anyway, right, what's your PT score? What was your PT score?
Bro, I think I've never gotten over a 250. I got a 251 one time before.
Okay. Well, to be honest with you, I was normally around the 260 range, so not that much better. But
see?
Yeah. But that 10-point difference is so big.
And like that's the thing, man. Like you see, like I always said, we have a lot more in common than we do different.
I totally agree.
And that's what it should be about. It should be about unity. Unity amongst all people, all races. Of course, we're not going to always be on the same page all the time, but
I'm not even on the same page with myself. Like, how many times have you looked back like last week and be like, oh, why did I do that? Like on TikTok, I have a video of me almost dying from cutting a tree down in the backyard to make, the backyard look, nicer because it was eventually going to fall, but I almost died cutting down a tree. I disagree with that decision to cut down the tree. Like, terrible decision.
I'm gonna hire somebody to do it, man. I'm not messing with that.
Yep. Learned my lesson. Got a cool video. It actually has a funny story to it. And speaking of funny stories, I thought we could tell. I was hoping to embarrass myself enough to tell some funny stories from my relationships with Black people I've had, because I believe I'm actually in a unique position that I'm just now realizing that it's unique.
Yeah.
Growing up on a farm in Oklahoma, middle of nowhere, from kindergarten to 8th grade, I had maybe 15 people in my class. Maybe 15. I think we had 2 or 3 Black kids in the school. And I didn't understand racism at that point. Didn't even really know about it.
Mm-hmm.
In social studies and, 5th and 6th, 7th, and 7th grade and 8th grade, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is awful.
That's when you learned about it in school?
Yeah. Huh.
You want to know how I learned about racism?
Shit.
I was walking back home late at night from. I was like, I don't know what I was doing, but I was walking back home from like one of my friend's house or something like that. Pulled over, cop harassing me, called me all kinds of names. Got his laugh on, and went about his way. And I never even told anybody about it, just because I was over it. But that's how I learned about racism. And that's the difference, man. You know, that you're able to learn about it through, through like school stuff like that, experience.
Man, 3 tangents just went like in my head. First off, I actually watched a video. I hate that I even have to say this. I should. It's like you and I agreed. We should be able to say an American, right? Not a black person. But this guy on TikTok, black individual, and he had a really good message that resonated with me. He was saying how when he runs in the local park and he sees a woman coming the other way, right?
Yeah.
He purposefully, because he runs it at 6 o'clock in the morning, he purposely like gets out of the way so she knows that he's not gonna like run up against her, or women have that fear that you and I'll never experience of. I'm not going to say it because it's so terrible that the worst happening to them. Same thing with black people. Sometimes there are racist cops. Turns out most of America, 60-70% of American police are white. So when there's a few bad apples, word gets around, right? And that I'll never know what you experience when you get pulled over. Even if you don't do nothing wrong, if you say everything right, you're probably still nervous the whole time. So for me, my nervous instinct is I'm not even really sure if I'm ready to say it yet. But
I mean, we here, baby. We here.
Yeah. Well, oh man, my dog's right next to me. Thanks, Baxter. Thanks for the support.
See, there you go, man.
All right. Yeah. So I've had some weird experiences in my life with
police.
No, with aliens. So
with aliens.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
I don't want to get into it right now. This is not something where I wanted to go. That's why when people say you have it better than me, and like I've never been afraid like you have, etc. Some people may say it's an experience. I don't believe it is. I don't believe it's made up medically. I believe it's something that's real, and I'm actually positive about it. But so that's probably something I did not think about I was going to talk on this podcast for. So I'm just going to take a step back and let you talk for a
minute. What? First of all, I love aliens.
They love you too, by the way.
But I think I know where you're getting at. It's like more so with the experience might be the same, but
it's a terrifying experience, is what I'm saying.
But a different situation, right?
Totally. Yeah. So long story short, like you never know what someone's fear is.
Yeah.
Is what I was trying to get at.
Exactly.
And I didn't want to say like a blanket white person statement. I want to say something that I personally experience sometimes, and it's the worst feeling in the world. Worst fucking feeling in the world. At the same time, though, it's part of my life, right? And if I believe that they're guardian angels, hopefully, is what I believe.
Yeah.
And having the ability to break down what someone has gone through off a race, to me, it destroys the whole concept of being a good, putting out good vibes. Like that's just not good vibes. Like, yeah. Don't tell me I've never experienced fear.
So okay, yeah, I see what you're getting at. Maya Angelou, you don't know where you're going unless you know where you came from.
It's true.
So you can still acknowledge some of the negativity and evilness.
Yeah.
But overall, I believe it's what you do with that. What do you do with that? how can you better yourself? How can you affect other people so that you understand that you are for all people and not just yourself? And this may be where my beliefs come in, because I believe we are here to help one another and affect one another in a positive way.
Agreed.
Right? But in order to get to some of these solutions, man, like
you have to identify the problem.
Right. But we not only that, but there needs to be action behind it that balances everything out. And in this situation, I believe that, unfortunately, man, I don't see racism like going away, because it's amongst all people. But
it's awful.
Racism shouldn't be able to determine whether or not I'm able to live or not. And that's where the problem comes into play.
Okay. Well, I'm going to hit you with this, because I got to know your perspective. There's obviously, I'm sure you've seen plenty of people post the stats of how many black people are killed by other blacks in gang violence and things like that. How do I understand that from your perspective as not being a problem?
So, first of all, people who murder people, they're not necessarily because of race, but because of proximity. And secondly, I believe that people, like I said earlier, the focus always shifts, because we're talking about racism.
Yeah,
and then,
we are.
But then we talk about black on black crime and Mexican.
But,
you know what I mean? But that's
hold on. You just said you made the point that you shouldn't die because of your color.
Right.
Okay, so if I made a chart, and I'm working with you here, like let's talk about it.
You shouldn't die in general.
we're breaking this down. Okay, yeah. So if you have a chart of African Americans who were killed last year, and I honestly don't even know the number, because I don't even watch that stuff. It goes past me. But I believe it's around 95%. Where it was like black on black. I don't know. I don't even care. But let's say it's 75 and 25% was something else. So you have murders being killed by somebody, like, right, human to human killing. 75 of them come from other black men killing other black men, or that have to be men, it could be women and women. Why would you not address that? Why would you address something that happens one out of, I think, say 300, 500,000, something?
So, for one, I believe that even if you want to go on the route I'm talking about black on black crime, we have to remember how certain people even got into that position in the first place when it comes to poverty.
Hold on.
But here's what I will say, though, because I'm going to answer your question.
Thank you.
Okay. But here's what I will say to that, though. It becomes a little bit more serious, or it becomes a different conversation when we're talking about black on black crime.
Why is it different?
It's different because black people don't kill each other because of their skin color.
But they're dead still.
But the reason is a lot different. And
so would that be okay to tell the mom?
Conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay.
So if that tell that mom, hey, your kid didn't get killed by a white person, so it's not that big a deal right now.
No, it's just a different conversation.
That's how. Okay, so let's have that conversation. Why is that not? Why is that conversation not happening? Is what
it is happening, but
how? I don't see it. I don't see a single person
you wanna know why
on social media.
You want to know why you don't see it?
I would love to.
Because you're not in the communities. That's
what we're here for.
Where that happens. Black on black crime gets addressed all the time. It may not be
still an issue.
It may not be addressed just like racism, right? It may not be addressed on a large platform, like you see a lot of things are, but people in their communities, and even people just on social media, from the people I know at least, I'll say that the people that I know and that I'm around daily don't promote that kind of stuff. They're against it, and they're advocates of making a change so that doesn't happen. And then that means educating your children And not just,
I mean, it's being nice to people and being nice around other people. Yeah.
It's also about unlearning. It's also about being able to get rid of bad habits as well too.
Okay.
Habits that have developed in these lower income communities that stem from way back, going back to even the Jim Crow era. I'm not trying to say that, oh, I'm just blaming all the white people. No, but what I'm saying is we didn't have the same kind of start. So there are still some inherently bad habits that are forming in these communities that we need to get rid of. But that's another topic.
I come from the one of the poorest states in America, Oklahoma.
I come from Baltimore.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. In the lower class, and even honestly middle class, there's a bunch of bad habits. But I want to go back. I want to go back to this because this is really important to me, and I'm not trying to nail you down on this. Like, this is something that I feel is very important, that needs to be addressed because your life matters to me, bar fucking none. Sorry, I cussed. Hope I have to remember to put explicit on this iTunes podcast now. Your life matters to me. How is the issue going to be addressed of you have a 95% chance better of being killed by another black guy than you do a cop? I think it's even higher than that. How are we going to fix that problem?
How you fix black on black?
Okay, so I don't know. I don't want to pull up the numbers. Maybe you want to look at the numbers together. Maybe that would be productive.
No, I mean, look, I see what you're saying, but this
you're saying Black Lives Matter, and I'm saying they do too. So how do we? I see a systematic problem amongst black people killing themselves. First off, because a lot of reasons, not because of X, Y, or Z. There's a lot of reasons, and you're right. Systematic. Not systematic, but
systematic.
I don't like the word. I don't like that word.
Yeah, but you don't like it. But that is
no. It's real. It's used as for people to like trigger right now. So what I'm going to say is an adapted lifestyle they didn't choose. So you guys you were behind the finish line or behind the starting line when things started, right? So I agree. You guys had a rough start.
A hell of a rough start. Don't even downplay that. don't even downplay it. A hell of a rough start.
You don't know what kind of start I've had either.
But was it 400 years?
You haven't lived 400 years, Keith.
But what I'm saying is, it's inherited though. Like, okay, slavery.
So have you?
Let me just break it down right quick.
If you've inherited your bad habits, maybe one of your bad habits is not focusing on other issues that need to be addressed that I'm trying to help you with.
So look, here's what I said. How many slave owners became millionaires and billionaires based off of the slaves' backs? And then they were able to inherit that. I mean, I'm sorry, their children were able to inherit that. Their children be able to inherit that, and they become in a position of power throughout the U.S. Right?
What is that? Okay, go ahead.
So what I'm saying is, we inherited. We came right off of slavery into Jim Crow. Now we have to battle our way uphill in order to keep up with what's going on as far as America as a whole, economically, and things of that nature.
You keep saying we.
So
what
we, as in African American people who descended.
What struggles have you had though, like economically? Because what you're saying right now is economic struggles.
But I'm not just speaking about me, and that's the thing that you're missing. I'm speaking about what's been happening throughout history that affects a lot of people in America right now who are black, including myself.
Well, if we want to talk about not just ourselves, we need to talk about the world, because there's poor people all over the world right now who are
we're not
dying.
Oh,
we're not. So we're not. So that they don't matter.
Not this conversation. That's a different conversation that needs to be had. Yes.
Okay. So that needs to be had too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is just one issue going on now. There are many issues going on, but this is a really big one right now, and it has been.
So why are you upset about something that you can't control?
Who says I'm upset? I'm just like whenever I speak,
you guys go
I'm just
through.
very passionate. I'm just very
Oh
passionate.
no, we're both very passionate, which is perfect. That's why we're doing this. So you're having. I can tell that you're angry about your ancestors. I said that earlier. What happened is
I'm not
awful.
angry about that. I'm not angry. I'm not angry
Okay,
at all.
why do you hold it then?
Why do I know about it? I mean, it's part of my.
Why do you hold it? Why do you hold it? Like why do you hold it? Like you're saying that you guys had a. It's like saying you have a disadvantage. You're saying you had a disadvantage because you're ancestors, and I'm saying why are you holding on to that disadvantage?
So I'm not saying I have a disadvantage.
Okay, then what are we talking about here?
What
What are we talking about? Like,
I'm going to tell you. What I am saying. I point my train of thought here, but
I want us to be able to realize that I acknowledge that messed up stuff that's happened.
So yeah, so what I am saying is that I acknowledge it and I speak on it because it's a part of my history, and it's things that.
But how has that led to your disadvantage?
How is that what?
Led to your disadvantage, like individually? Like how's it led to your disadvantage individually? And I'm not saying
because I could possibly become somebody who falls into the justice system wrongfully, accused of a crime I didn't commit.
And that's happened. All those things have happened, right? All those things have happened to black people.
Yes, but it's happened on an unfair scale compared to our counterparts. I could possibly be a victim of police brutality, which I have been. I could be a victim of racism because of the skin of my color. Because of the color of my skin, excuse me, which I've been affected by that. And with all, yes, everybody can experience that, but it's different when you're black and experiencing it only because it usually comes from the people who run this country, or the race of people who run this country. I'll say that.
Man, I don't like that.
And it's not comes from there. And it's not playing the victim role either. It's not playing the victim role. It's just stating facts about what's going on. You look frustrated, but I'm not disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing. I'm just stating facts, though. I'm not saying anything that is like wrong or that you can check me on. These are things that are happening.
Well, we keep hopping subjects, which is fine. I love this conversation.
Me too, definitely.
I bet more people start tuning in right now.
You said what?
I said I bet more people start tuning in right now.
Sure.
No, okay. So let's go to that. So why do you think it's man, there's so many things that you just said right there. So the generalities of things. So that's not just it sounds like I'm going to be attacking you, but I'm not. I see this from my conservative friends, my liberal friends, my libertarian friends, whatever they are, and everybody in between, right? I see this generalization of things they want to talk about that aren't affecting them. Like, why are we talking about things that you have nothing to do with at all? Why are you identifying yourself as a victim because of XYZ? I remember going to high school and telling kids that I was working with, because I worked my ass off in high school, college, well, I guess my entire life, growing up on a farm. And if I told somebody that they can go to college, even though they were below the, how about this? Let me rewind. People in my town thought I was rich because my dad, we worked our asses off and we were able to put food on the table. Half the time, I had the same shirt on twice a week. Okay.
Yeah.
But because of a perception in my town, people thought I was, the rich kid. And that's fine. I tried to motivate them to go to college in high school. And I specifically remember two guys I was working with, might have been 17, 18 years old. And they said, hell, Bobby, we can't go to college. We ain't as smart as you. We don't give a fuck. How are we supposed to afford college? And I said, well, that's nice that you asked that. So you can afford college by, you get into tuition for free since, you say you don't have money. So your parents make under $50K a year. So you can go tuition free. You can apply for these scholarships. You can, hopefully turn your GPA around because you guys don't care about school right now, but that's fine. You can change that. I gave them everything that they could do. And they blame some of the things that you're saying. they are blaming also on people who have money, and we have got to get away from that.
Yes, I agree with that. That's a different attitude. That's a different attitude.
All right. Well, I guess if you agree with my point, I can't argue with you.
I mean, no, because and like that's the thing, bro. Like, yeah, okay. You can lead a horse to water, you can't make him drink it. I can lay out everything that you need to do in order to be successful, but sometimes, and even we all go through this. Sometimes we gotta experience certain things for us to get the hit, for us to get the point. You know what I mean?
So the cops, you're saying the cops are racist, and you're saying that white people who have money and control things are racist.
To me, that became my mouth. I never said this.
Okay.
I said there was a problem with racism and police brutality in America.
Fair enough. Okay, I agree with that. Yeah, what I meant and what you said. Yeah, okay, that's my bad. But saying that white people control the money and they're purposely putting the black man down. I'm telling you right now, that's probably partially true, but it's not targeting black people. It's targeting the working class and poor class.
Yes. 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 I agree. So I somewhat agree with that. Yes.
That's something that pisses me off personally, because whenever I hear somebody say that, I'm like, dude, you're telling me you're not going to like me whenever I'm working my ass off and I'm rich?
Right. Yeah.
That's how it comes off to me.
Yeah, no. Let me be clear. You have to put in the work in order to be successful. You have to. But when it gets to the point where you're working just like anybody else is, living your life right, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing and providing for your family.
Right. Well,
now
another topic.
When you're on that path and it gets to the point where you encounter somebody who does have the authority or in a position that can affect your life, and they use that against you because of your skin color, that's where the issue is. And that happens far too often.
You know what? That does happen. I'm not gonna lie about that.
Yes. And that's
I don't know anybody who it's happened to, and I don't know anybody who's done it. But
so it's hard for you.
I'm gonna say the odds are that's probably fucking happened.
But you can look at history though. Like
let's stop looking at history is what I'm saying. Like we have to stop saying we have to stop.
How far do you want to go back? 2 years ago?
I want to go back to today. What are we changing today?
But how can you do that if you don't
I think everyone acknowledges the problem, Keith. I think racism is obviously in the forefront of everyone's minds right now.
Right.
Message is out.
It is out.
So let's stop grappling about the past, because I cannot get in a relationship with somebody, an intimate relationship, and they keep bringing up past things that I've done and continue forward with them. Can you?
In relationship terms, no. But I don't agree with where you're taking it though, because it sounds like you're saying to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, what happened in the past, it happened. What can you do now? Right? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying if you want me to, if we want to progress this country in a positive manner,
the
only thing that's going to happen if you bring up negative things in the past, like that guy. No, hey, that guy needs to slow down for real.
Yeah.
If you continue to, like, history needs to be taught.
Yes.
Obviously, like, blows my mind that most people. Okay, and that's another topic for another time, because the right way is different for every single person.
And that's what I'll be saying.
Right. That's what I'm trying to say over here.
Different conversation, man.
So I'm sure we're gonna get plenty of second debates. What do you call it? Encores. Let me lose my train of mind. Okay, so if you are in a relationship with somebody, and that's what I can't emphasize that, we have to stop thinking this thing right here, your phone, these are destroying your hope. These are destroying love. These are destroying you reaching out to people and saying, how are you doing? Because you're scared to.
I mean, depending on how you use it.
I agree. Totally agree. I use it to do this.
Yeah.
I feel better about myself and I feel better about our relationship, and I feel better about someone likely to benefit from me putting myself out there. I hope you feel the same way.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
However, if we want to move forward with this, it's going to be a long struggle, and we have to
solution based.
It's got to start at turning off. When it comes to politics, you need to turn off your damn social media.
I do agree with that.
You need to get involved with your local government. You need to do research on your own. And then the more you dig, the more you find out you don't know. The actual curve for knowledge is kind of funny. I learned this the other day. I'll share it with you guys. So if we have...
Ta-da.
We have... It'll be easier here. That's my dog, by the way. Did you get that out of your system? Yeah. So he hates bullshit, too. So if you have...
This fucking guy.
XYZ chart, right? Somebody who seems like they know what they're talking about is up here, and then it goes like this. So this is how smart someone seems, and this is time. So experts are right here, but someone who doesn't know anything, like watch a 5-minute YouTube video, is right here, but they speak on it and they hit all the hitting points that the expert does also. But the more you continue to learn something, the more you actually feel confident about what you know, because you have to learn more, and then you become an expert.
Like anything. Yeah.
Exactly. I agree. But someone can speak on it. And that's why social media is so dangerous, because an idiot, somebody like me.
Oh my gosh.
Somebody as bad as me go around just spreading stuff. You know?
I see it all the time, Bobby. And like, that's why I always tell myself, man, I don't speak on anything that I'm not educated about. As far as...
It's hard not to, dude. It's so hard not to.
Now, I'm always open to being wrong. I'm always open to being wrong and being educated. But I will say this, unless I know what I'm talking about, as far as whatever topic is, I'll speak on it. If I don't, I won't speak on it until I educate myself. Now, there are certain things that maybe we talk about that we need to learn more about, but at least we can hold a conversation and learn.
As awkward as it is. Oh, we're talking about this, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. I'm not sure if he's talking about this conversation. No, I agree. When it comes to these memes and stuff on Facebook, have you noticed a trend? Like, who is going out and making these memes that aren't true?
Yo, I question this all the time. For real.
Because I see it on both sides. Like, something that's going to make everyone mad on the left, and something's going to make everyone mad on the right. Like, who's going around making that? Like, how much time do you have? And that's clever. First off.
Because it triggers people.
It triggers me.
Yeah.
I'm like, is that true? Don't tell me that's true.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up right quick. Yeah, man. I hate it. You know what gets me even more upset? you ever see somebody that is posting and it just clearly all the way doesn't know what the hell they're talking about?
I think I'm the person you're talking about, but yeah, no, for real. I know what you're talking about.
Oh man, that really grinds my gears.
Or the copy and paste where you don't love Jesus. That one really bugs me.
Oh, I hate chainmail. Please.
The whole chainmail, or copy and paste if you don't love veterans. I appreciate the gesture.
Yeah.
That people take to do that, because if you're not a veteran, you may feel like, oh man, well, I mean, yeah, of course I love veterans. I better do this, and a lot of my family members do that, and I love it when they do. But I want to find the person that makes that. I want to take them outside and I'm going to ask them, what is your goal right now? Are you trying to make veterans feel like they are less? Are you trying to make veterans feel like they should be the victims? Are you trying to say that my life... Man, I just had an epiphany. Yeah. So are you trying to say that my meaning to you is a meme?
It's all about perspective, right?
If I mean something, then that person who made that meme should say, have a brand on it, have a video of why that meant something to them, like why they made that. It's called art, expression of self.
Mm.
I don't now that I say that, I don't think that having a meme saying if you love soldiers, you'll share this means anything, because who's saying that?
Yeah, it doesn't mean. I mean, it's good to like read and for you to get your spirits upright, and I think that's maybe what it could be for. But
Oh no, okay, yeah, no, I agree. But also people may share that to say, yeah, I love veterans. Yeah, you know how many times someone has loved me as a veteran?
yeah,
Ah, zero. They love me because of me. I just happen to be a veteran, and they appreciate
yeah,
the
yeah,
sacrifice that I did. They'd be like, "You're a veteran? Oh, well, let me get you a table.
yeah.
Do you want Coke, Dr. Pepper? Like, I'll pay for your whole meal." Uh, I have had my meal paid for. Don't get me wrong, which is awesome.
Oh, I love it. I loved it when it happened to me.
Yeah, it happened to me. A 16-year-old kid did that for me.
Nice.
16-year-old, like, it's like, dude, yeah, you're going
Yeah.
somewhere. That's respect right there.
You're going somewhere.
And make that a double enchilada.
Yeah.
Uh, but I think people need to stop sharing that stuff, in my opinion. If it's a heartfelt message and saying, "Hey, I made this because of XYZ," then I can see that and I'll feel the emotion that went into that work. But when it comes to someone typing something, all I see is someone saying, "Oh yeah, they matter this much to me."
Mm.
Click.
But that's been going on since like the MySpace days. You remember that? You remember when you used to have to like it was so much chain mail in MySpace. I used to hate that.
Chainmail and MySpace.
Yeah, man.
I had dial-up internet, bro. I didn't have
You didn't have
time.
MySpace?
I think I might have had a MySpace when I like went to a buddy's house who had like actual internet, bro. Like, I live in the country. They still don't have internet where I'm at, where my parents live.
Oh well, man. You had internet. I don't know how you. Anyway, yeah,
Oh no,
MySpace, man.
yeah, every now and then I did.
MySpace was that was a hit for a little while.
I did have enough internet speed for AOL, so
Yeah.
yeah, got those free hours at Walmart. I think I've talked about that. Like, thousand free hours, and you're like, I'll love them. I'm getting on AOL tonight.
You remember AIM? Yeah.
Yeah, AOL. Sorry,
Yeah.
AIM. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was your username?
KC number 52. I remember that. 52 for Ray Lewis. That's a football player.
Who's that? Who's that? Greatest defensive linebacker, right?
Yes.
Baltimore Ravens.
Yes. Like I said, you better know who that is.
If I don't want to. Like, I'm looking behind me, like you're like burst through this, you're gonna kill me.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm the Kool-Aid guy. No, I'm Ray Lewis. That'd be funny. I had my username was Extreme Skater, and I put that because most people associate rural farmers with skateboards. So
yeah, I see what you did there.
Yeah, no, I did skateboard though on all 10 foot by 10 foot of slab I had.
Yeah, I tried it for a little bit. It wasn't for me. I think I fell one good time, and I was like, nah.
No, over.
Over and done with.
Well, speaking of slipping and falling, I'm sure I've done that a few times tonight. I appreciate the conversation. I know that this isn't going to be a conversation. This has to be a dialogue for a long time, like for the rest of our lives. For the rest of our lives, as I'm concerned, like there's no other way to do this, right?
To have this kind of conversations, you mean?
No, to have the open dialogue of being like, hey man, let's get like into the weeds of this and say what's in our hearts, even though we're not really sure how that's going to turn out.
Right? Yeah, man, it's definitely all about being able to just put yourself in somebody else's shoes, man. Like perspective and nuance, man. I think a lot of the times people have one way of thinking and they believe, well, if this is what I believe and think, then this is the reality of things. When that's not always the case, man. You know what I mean? At the same time, people do need to educate themselves. Definitely. In
I
order
think
to
the
provide
educated people need to speak
a better
up.
future. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I cut you off. I'm sorry. What'd you say on the last part about the future?
No, I was just saying in order to provide a better future for not only them, but everybody who comes after them. So
You're talking about legacies.
Yeah, man. That's what it's all about. You gotta build it. You gotta start somewhere, you know?
Yeah, there's actually a good point. So I did some stats, researching some stats, and I cannot solve racism. In the Bible, Jesus Christ says that kind of stuff will come to an end one day. But until then, we have to do the best that we can do and take care of each other. And honestly, I think, I think the best thing to do is laugh at each other, because there's plenty to laugh about between you and I feel like.
Oh yeah, definitely. And just to be a little bit more serious, definitely continue to pray and give praise to God. That's what I believe. Definitely. That's one of the when it's all said and done and everything's over and done with, I believe you will come, but you will come before God, and every conscious decision that you ever made laid out on the table.
That's gonna be it.
You know what I mean? So
I'm happy for some of those moments. But some of them are like, oh man, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like, are you sure we want to do this? Everything. Yeah.
All of us that struggle, bro. All of us.
And that's part of it, right? The acknowledgement of the struggle that you have internally with different things, and then trying to improve it and also help people along the way. I think.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's the beauty of it.
It is the beauty of it. I agree. And also the beauty is something that I am really good at, and it's research. Being a nerd. My family members get very upset with me because they cannot say anything around me without me looking it up. Can you imagine how annoying that is?
That's how me and my wife are. Like, I have to prove her wrong. She got to prove me wrong. So we look it up, and then usually I'm wrong.
Yeah, I'm always right. I feel you. So for me, I cannot solve all the problems of what's going on right now. I do acknowledge that there are bad people in the police force, but also want to acknowledge that there's bad people in life. Like that shooting that happened in Georgia. Man, I'm blanking out. Gauss. Yes. Yeah. Oh, you're always right. Yeah. Well, she just heard always right. The guys killed, the white neighborhood by those guys who hunted them down, basically. Like, that was.
Aubrey.
Thank you. Sorry.
Say their names.
Dude, I'm on live YouTube right now. I can't remember. I blacked out. Sorry. Okay. That individual in that video is wrong. That I cannot believe that happened.
And
hold on, but I can believe that evil happened. That right there, like, that is more scary than anything to me. Okay. However, there's no backstory of what I want to say next. That is scary.
Yeah.
So this next part I want to say is I cannot change that. If I run across a racist, guess what? I don't know it because I'm not a racist. Right? I hear some people say the N-word on Xbox sometimes. None of my friends.
Who I've heard that. I think that's the only word that people use on Xbox.
No, I was trying to talk about something serious here.
I mean, but for real, you ever be in those lobbies, bro? Oh my god!
I block it. No, seriously, I block it. That word right there, like, it infuriates me that anybody would say it. And if it's if you said it to me and it was, or said it to your friends around me, it doesn't even register with me because I don't care. Like, it's not a big deal to me. But when people are yelling it online, mute. I don't need the evil. I don't need this while I'm trying to enjoy my life. Yep. I don't want to think about this kid being growing up as thinking this is cool, this is okay. You know where they learned that from? They learned that from other people.
Yeah.
So I'm not going
deeply rooted.
You know what? Also, you have to realize this, that when people do that, they may not be racist, believe it or not.
When people do what?
Who say the N-word on Xbox, they may not be racist.
I disagree.
Okay, why?
Well, why don't you think that they're not racist?
Well, I have to finish this. I'm already in trouble.
I mean, if you're
no, that's a good question. Yeah, I don't think they're racist because I don't know them. I know plenty of comedians who are white who say it. Neil Brennan, off the top of my head, he's not racist.
I mean, it's a racist with Mark.
So again, and back to the individual level, how is Neil Brennan not being held accountable for all the N-words he said? His Netflix special should be taken down because he says the N-word, I think, 56 times or something like that.
I don't have an answer to that. Hey.
So my point being,
he'll be held accountable though.
No, he won't.
Wait, who is it?
Neil Brennan. He's best friends with Dave Chappelle.
I don't even know who that is. Who's Neil Brennan?
You got to be kidding me.
I don't know who he is, bro. I mean, I know who Dave Chappelle is.
Okay. Neil Brennan.
Is it a black dude?
I wouldn't have an issue.
Who's I'm about to say? I mean, it sounds like it's a black dude saying the N-word all day.
About to get on my phone and just play it, but I think I may have copyright infringements on that one. So Neil Brennan worked with Dave Chappelle on the Dave Chappelle Show. Hilarious comedian.
Yeah.
I don't agree with a lot of his politics, but I don't agree, again, with everybody. It's fine.
Right.
Throws the N-word out there in like one of his first specials that went huge and said, "Hey, white people, N-word." And it's like, no, it's cool. Like I had some friends, black friends who said that I could say that.
Oh, he's a white dude.
Yeah, he's definitely white. Like the whitest white dude. Like glasses, nerdy, like this, like everything. And he says it constantly. So why is he not being held accountable for using that?
I can't speak on that, man. I don't know.
Okay, and then that's my point. That's very confusing for me. That's very confusing for us. So you cannot say that someone's. I don't think Neil Brennan's a racist. He says that word all the time. You know why he says it? Because that's the group of people he hangs around. They say it all the time.
He said he hangs around people that he's
black people. He hangs around black people. He worked with Dave Chappelle on the Chappelle Show. Like, I cannot believe you don't know who this is. Like, it blows my mind.
Man.
Anyway,
if you feel like it's like if that confuses you, man, hey, go ahead and say it then.
no, I obviously am saying it. So you cannot say that. I don't think Neil Brennan's a racist, and these people who are on Xbox are not saying the N-word because it's racist. There are also a lot of young kids on there that are hearing N-word on songs, thinking that it's cool.
Right. Yeah. Yep. Yes, you're right about that.
I know I'm right. That's why I'm saying it.
Yeah, and if we want people to start using that term, then we gotta stop using it. Period. Oh,
okay. I'm not even going to go there. I'm going to stop saying. I'm going to go as far as saying that it's not cool, and like on iTunes, one of the most famous songs right now is a brand new Lamborghini, F a cop car, a real N-word, or fucking rock star or something like that. But like that right there, that the thing that's one of the top songs, and these young kids are listening to it constantly in their head. Of course, you're gonna say the N-word on Xbox.
Yeah.
Right.
Look,
so
man.
I don't believe they're racist, is what I'm saying.
Like,
so,
okay,
you said that you think they're all racist, and I'm saying I don't think they are. I think that's a culture problem.
I'm not saying they're racist, but it's definitely.
You did say they're racist.
I said it's a racist with Mark. I mean, but look, here's the thing, man.
You did say they're racist.
Okay, if you're using that word, it's a racist with Mark. I'll say that. I can't speak on your character. I don't know if you're racist or not.
Agreed.
But you definitely use a racial slur. I'll say that. Now, I forgot about to say now. Dang it, see what you did.
I called you out. I called you out for what you said.
You really didn't. You didn't call me out.
I asked if you think that the people who say the N-word on Xbox are racist, and you said yes.
I said they're using a racist with Mark. Okay, well, all right. If I said that, I backtrack my statement. They're using a racist.
You're going to be held accountable, and we'll have a social media file for you. 5 days.
Cancel me. All right. No, but like seriously though.
Okay, what's up?
Look, man. If you want to say the N word, go ahead and say it. Just be mindful of the consequences that come along with it.
Oh,
I'll say that. You know what I mean? Because I'm not going to defend
I
it.
agree with that.
I'm not going to defend them saying it. I'm not going to say that they shouldn't say. Look, if you want to use it, go ahead and use it. Just be mindful that there are people who are hurt by that word whenever you say it, and they may react in a certain way that's not very civilized.
If you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
There you go.
So I
there you go.
Okay, well, I think we agree or found a common ground there. And the N word does not bug me that's used. What bugs me is it's used as something that's cool.
Yeah.
And then these kids are being put in a situation where they think it's cool, right? Because it's on, the rap songs, which I'm a big fan of some artists in the rap culture. Believe it or not, I'm not a huge country fan of New Country anyway. But when I hear these songs popular and these kids think they're cool, well, I mean, I remember growing up with Eminem. I thought Eminem was awesome.
He is awesome.
Well, that's debatable. I'm kidding. No, he's awesome. And I never heard him use that in a song, maybe because it was, marked explicit and there wasn't a whole lot of CDs getting out to Oklahoma at that time. I don't know, but I didn't hear him saying that song a lot.
Yeah, he never said the N word in his raps.
Okay. Wow, that makes me feel better because I'm like, I don't remember it, but
yeah.
So I wasn't, I didn't associate with cool songs that I vibed with the N word, but Without Me, it comes to my mind instantly. Like that was like one of my favorite songs, and so if that incorporated an N word song, like how am I supposed to think that that's okay to say when everyone else around me is saying it?
Nah. I feel you. I feel you on that one. And that also just speaks volumes on how influential hip hop is across the world.
The most influential,
like just as far as like the way people dress, the slang, the dancing, it's that just speaks even more volumes on how influential and impactful we are. Are you here? Hello. Oh. Are we still live on YouTube? Let me see. One second, y'all. This video long, blah blah. Second, y'all. This video. Okay, so we are still live. Bear with us, man. We're trying to get Bobby back on here. Second video. Okay, so we are still live. Bear with us, man. We're trying to get Bobby back on. we're going to continue this conversation